Hello and welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to go over the suspension system and to understand it, as well as some components of the steering system. And after that, we're going to go over the most common customer complaints. All right, so we're going to start over here with the strut. So some cars are equipped with rear struts, but mostly you'll find these struts in the front of your car. So the struts are made up of three components. So we have the shock absorber here, the top plate bearing, and then the spring. All right, and that makes up your front strut. All right, next up we have the rack and pinion. So the rack and pinion assembly, it's mostly the middle part over here, and at the extremities we'll have the other components. So I've listed the components here. So first up we have the inner tie rod, the outer tie rod, and inside the car, which is connected here to the rack and pinion, it's going to be the intermediate shaft. All right, next up we have the sway bar bushings that are connected to the sway bar, and then the links as well that are connected to the sway bar, and the links are attached to the front strut, as well as the rear if the car is equipped with rear springs. All right, next up we have ball joints. So either pressed like this one or bolted on like this one. For some cars, they'll be equipped with upper control arms, either front or rear. And then as well as every car has lower control arms, either front or rear as well, but always they have front control arms. Next up we have lateral arms. So you could call these control arms as well, or lateral arms. They just look different, and then depending on the suspension setup of the manufacturer, they'll have various lateral arms and control arms. So we have, they'll be called upward, frontward, is it up? No, I forgot. It would be called rearward or frontward, depending on the setup. So off the top of my head, it's probably like bigger luxury cars, Lexus or BMW. Well, they'll have a bunch of these arms in the front as well as in the back. So for compact cars, you won't have that many control arms or lateral arms. And then I've mentioned this here, so we're going to go over it later on. It's bushings. So bushings are basically a rubber sleeve, a rubber, what's it called? So it's a metal sleeve, and around it is rubber. So it's going to help with ride comfort, as well as flexing of the suspension when you're driving. So if you notice here, most control arms are going to have two bushings, and some have one. And that's mainly the job of the bushings. All right, so next up, we're gonna go over the most common customer complaints. So the first one is going to be this guy here. So noise complaints. So knocking is probably gonna be the most common one. So knock is going to come from various components. So I'm just gonna list all the components that could knock if they are bad. So we got the shock absorber here, the outer tie rod, the links, ball joints, and control arms as well. So either the ball joint on the control arm or the bushings on the control arms are going to cause knocking noise. So squeaking noise in suspension could happen from either a broken spring here, this guy here, or a worn out top plate bearing. So in this top plate bearing, there is a bearing, and then when it wears out, either when you turn left or right, you'll hear this either like a squeaking noise or a grinding noise. So these two are gonna match, these two noises are gonna match, they're gonna be very similar, squeak and grind. A squeak can also come from worn out ball joints. So I've had that scenario once where if you're stationary and you're turning your wheel left and right, you're going to hear a loud squeak. So most of the time it's the ball joint, the boot inside, well, the outer boot has ripped, and then dirt and debris can find its way inside and then dry out all the grease, and then that's where you get that squeaking noise. Even when you're stationary, you're turning left and right. And squeaking noise can also come from bushings. So wherever the bushings are, either rear or front. Squeaking noise are probably the hardest ones to diagnose, just because it's hard to pinpoint which bushing exactly is it coming from. Squeaking noise usually come from bushings, so control arm bushings, lateral arm bushings, what's called subframe bushings, and so on. And then the grinding noise, yeah. So like I said, the grinding noise mostly from the top plate bearings. Grinding noise can also come from the springs. The front springs usually fail due to rust, so they'll break and then they'll shift, and then every time you go over bumps or try to turn your car, you'll hear a squeak or a loud metallic noise. So it's not really a knocking noise, it's mostly a squeak or a loud metallic noise. All right, so we're just gonna erase all this quickly. All right, so we've done the first complaint. The second complaint is going to be a bouncy ride. So there's only one component responsible for a bouncy ride, which is this guy over here. So what fails on the front strut is going to be the shock absorber. And then every time you hit a bump or a speed bump, and then if your shock absorber is bad, then it won't stabilize the car quickly enough. So you'll have that bouncing effect when going over bumps. So bouncy ride, so either the front or the rear struts, but mostly the front struts are going to be responsible for a bouncy ride. Okay, next complaint is steering feel. So either loose or hard steering, depending on the complaint. So we'll start with loose first. So loose steering could actually, it's very rare that they come from these two components. It just depends on how they failed, but mostly if a customer tells me loose steering, then I usually target this guy over here, the intermediate shaft. So if the joints here on the intermediate shaft has failed, they could cause like a really loose feeling when turning the steering wheel, meaning when they turn, there's almost no resistance, so the steering wheel just like flies, and then it could also be accompanied by a like a clunking noise inside the car, or like a thumping noise as well. So and that's how you know the joint here has failed. Okay, and that's mostly a loose steering wheel complaint, or a loose steering complaint. So for hard steerings or anything of that nature, most of the time it's going to be a faulty rack and pinion. So either like the whole assembly itself, or some newer cars or modern cars now have they have motors attached directly to the rack and pinion. So if these motors fail, then you'll have a really hard time steering. Either it's going to steer really hard on one side, and then the next side is going to be pretty easy. Depending on how they fail, every manufacturer is going to be different. And sometimes these motors are located in the steering shaft over here. So I know Kia and Hyundai have their steering motor attached to the steering shaft in the front. So that's just a small difference. So you could still get the same problems where a hard steering feel could happen, which is mostly from the rack and pinion internally failing, or the motor seizing up, and so on. And these things are not cheap to fix. All right, next up is going to be safety and inspection. So mostly the complaint is going to be, or the concern is going to be, how long can I drive with a faulty suspension component. So the most dangerous ones are going to be the strut and the ball joint, as well as the upper and lower control arms. So if you have like a failed lateral arm, you won't have to worry about that. Your safety is not in danger. You won't lose control of the car if you know, say the bushing pops out or the whole arm collapses. That's no problem. Same thing with the sway bar bushings. If these collapse completely, no problem. And then the links as well. So the links have no effect on your safety. It's just when the links fail, they make a really loud knocking noise, which sounds worse than it is. But if you do have a failed strut and failed ball joints over here, then that should be addressed immediately, because those are going to be the biggest safety concerns. A failed strut, your suspension could collapse on your wheel, and then that could you could lose control of your car. So either if the spring collapses, or you know, sometimes the top plate bearings are so rusted that the rod here goes through, and then it's going to stick out from underneath your hood, and then you'll lose control of the car. And then the worst case scenario is going to be a failed ball joint or a failed control arm, because that you lose complete control of your wheel if the ball joint fails. So that's why it's always important to get your ball joints addressed as soon as you can, because you've probably seen the most common ball joint fails are going to be from the Honda Accord, just because how they're set up. And then so what happens is, if the ball joint fails, you'll lose control of your wheel. So the wheel will collapse inwards, it'll rip out the axle, and then it could damage your inner fender, as well as damage your tire, and then you'll lose a bunch of transmission fluid, and then you could actually break the knuckle as well. So if you do have those Honda Accords, you should get it, and you need a ball joint, then you should get it addressed as soon as you can, just to avoid a bigger bill, just because of the damage that it's going to cause. Okay, and then lastly, if you have a really loose tie rod end, it's not really a concern for your safety, but you will lose steering feel. And then it depends if on the highway you're driving and then this pops out on the highway. It's not as bad as the ball joint, but you'll still lose some steering feel. So that's why when we see customers with either bad ball joints or bad tie rods, we adjust them. We try to address them immediately and let them know of the danger, not to scare them too much, but just to let them know that, you know, these could pop out at any moment, or if they're really loose, yeah. And then it's going to cause, you know, it's better off to fix it now, just so we don't cause more damage when it does fail. As well as another thing I forgot to mention is going to be control arm bushings. If these rip completely, then they're not as bad as the ball joint, but same thing, you could lose control of the wheel, and then it could cause more damage if not addressed properly. All right, and that's going to be it for all these complaints. These are mostly all the customer complaints, and so since there's lots of components on the suspension system as well as the steering system, which is close by, it is pretty hard sometimes to diagnose suspension noise, especially pinpointing the exact components without replacing too many components unnecessarily. So there are tools out there to help you out with diagnosing suspension noise, with like frequency tools, but they're really expensive and stuff. But with experience, you'll get better at this, diagnosing all the suspension noise, especially the types of knock, the cadence of each knock. You'll be good enough when it comes down to that. All right, and that's gonna be it for this video. Hope you guys find it helpful. Hope you guys find it valuable. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.